Hi, everyone out there in Denver land. What a chilly Friday it is in Denver, Colorado. A little snow in this early May season. What an amazing spring we've had so far with our precipitation. But it helps. Everything's looking green and coming up beautifully well. It is now time for Friday Mail with the Mayor, and I hope everyone had a great week. It was election week in Denver, Colorado. A lot of great, by the way, I'm proud of the turnout. We certainly saw more than we anticipated. Thank you all for going out to vote. Got to do it again on June 4th. Vote, vote, vote. Look for those ballots to be dropped in about a week from now. I hope everyone is doing well. Let's go ahead and talk about what we saw earlier this week beyond the election. We also made a huge announcement with the Denver Police Department. Police Chief Paul Pazin and his department announced a new division that is being created. It is a division that's going to focus on bias-motivated crimes in the city of Denver. Let's first give a shout out to our domestic violence team that have been investigating these for years, these type of crimes for years. But now Chief Pazin, under his wisdom and his team, have created the bias-motivated crime unit in the city of Denver. We have seen an uptick in reports of bias-motivated crimes in the city of Denver. No matter where you are from, what your lot in life is, what your orientation, what socioeconomic background you have, race, gender, ethnicity, we want people to feel safe in the city. And unfortunately, because of, for a lot of reasons, people are deciding to target certain demographic groups, creating fear throughout the community. And what this bias-motivated unit, crime unit, is designed to do is to put more of a focus on those type of crimes to make sure we hold those who are perpetrating these crimes in our community are held accountable. And so I want to thank Chief Pazin for his tremendous vision in creating this unit, and for the people who will be running it. We want to make sure that we stay on top of these issues. Some people might use it as a way to just, as a joke, but we recognize the kind of fear it creates throughout a community, kind of uncertainty and sense of discomfort. They may be rampant throughout a community because they find a swastika, or they find racial epithets in a community, or they give a racial slur, or they create a crime against an LGBTQ member because of their orientation or transgender orientation. It's just absolutely uncalled for and will not be tolerated in the city of Denver. So we're going to prosecute to the highest level of the crime of the law. Those who perpetrate these type of crimes, whether you believe it's a funny joke or not. It's not funny. It leaves the community feeling uncertain and unsafe. And we're going to make sure that we put a bird's eye on it, and this unit is going to help us do that. Thank you, Chief Pazin. Applaud to the Denver Police Department and the new bias-motivated crime unit in the department. We also received a letter in response to my call to the community for people who are 60 years and older to write a letter to the next generation under what we call the Next 160, Denver's Next 160. As you know, Denver turned 160 years old in November, and I've been spending time asking some of our older adults to write a letter to the next generation as we take over the stewardship of this great city of ours. What would you say to the next generation? And we received a letter from Patricio, I want to make sure I say it right, Patricio, and the letter is 4 pages long, so it's too long for us to read it, but we want to thank Patricio for writing us. But I want to read an excerpt from Patricio's letter. And basically, Patricio writes, "The Great Corps of Denver's Parks was established long ago, and since that time, only a few smaller parks have been added, not enough to keep up with Denver's growth. Also, can you ask Parks and Rec to build a backboard at the tennis courts of Rosamond Park on Quincy Avenue? A simple backboard would help those of us who don't have available tennis partners or who want to improve their game." Patricio, thank you for writing in. I absolutely agree with you. Our parks are singularly the most valuable asset we have in the city of Denver, an amenity. As someone who grew up, I got to tell you, without parks, where do we go? That's why my administration has been working to not only identify open space, but to designate it as open, as a park in Denver. And the word designated means something very legal to the city of Denver. Once it's designated, only the people of Denver can undesignate a park. And so we have moved to designate almost 1,200 acres of park or open space as parkland in Denver, Colorado, protecting it hopefully in perpetuity. And of course, we've also added over 650 acres of new parkland. It's very important that we continue to do so. And with the voters' approval last November, we were able to add a dedicated funding source now for additional parkland to be added to our inventory. So we're off and running, identifying new open space to be purchased and added to our inventory. But we're right along with you, Patricio, in terms of adding more park space, parkland to Denver's inventory. Now, I checked with Denver Parks and Recreation, and we have now passed on the request regarding a backboard at Rosenbaum Park tennis courts, so that you can have a partner, at least a stable partner, when you play tennis. Now, we will review the existing layout, and this is their answer, and any structural impacts to ensure that the modifications to the courts don't impact the ability for tournament play. So that's very important. So we want to thank you, Patricio, for passing that on. We hear you. We're going to see what we can do about getting that backboard up at the tennis courts. That's all the time we have this week for Friday Mail with the Mayor. I want to thank everyone again for tuning in. Thank you for your emails. Thank you for your postings on our social media platforms. Keep them coming, and we're going to keep Friday Mail with the Mayor going as well. Have a great weekend.